And away we go. It is another Job Center Brendel's Breakdown featuring former Cincinnati Bearcats GM Chris LePore. The Job Center is a light industrial staffing agency owned by Kyle Decker and headquartered right here in Cincinnati. Co-host Chris LePore joined the Job Center team in the summer of 2023 as a national account manager. If you are connected to a company that uses staffing services, reach out to Chris and he will personally follow up with you about partnering in the mission to change lives. All right, let's get this bad boy rolling. I think we should let the people know the good news. The good news is we had a business meeting, and just because the season is coming to an end doesn't mean the breakdown is coming to an end. We are going to extend into the off season. We'll cover some pertinent things like if the Bearcats make an addition in the portal, break down some film of who they're picking up. We'll do a little bit of returning player breakdown of the guys that are coming back and get a look at them as they continue on their Bearcat journey. So, and anything else that pops up, who knows?
No doubt.
Might have an idea someday to break down, or somebody asks a question and they want us to break down something. We'll do it.
Absolutely.
We'll do it.
Absolutely. Let's get some feedback. Give us a good topic to break down, and we could do a deep off-season dive for you. But
I'm excited.
Forward to keeping this thing rolling.
I think it's been a lot of fun. I think it's been educational. We've gotten great feedback on it so far. So I'm excited to keep it rolling. And do you do football?
No, we do not do football.
Find somebody. We'll figure it out. All right, man. Let's get this show on the road for this week. It was good week, good game. Kansas State, Oklahoma, very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Yes. And it was good for a while.
It was until you foul 4 3-point shooters and give them 12 free points. That was not good.
Yeah.
I don't generally get angry. I don't generally get like agitated at games.
You don't?
Fouling 4 3-point. No, not really. Like you sitting in press row, you have to learn to like compartmentalize and watch the game. Right. That was by the third one. I was like, I'm a mouse. Like I like to hit the mouse on the desk. That's my thing.
Understood.
All right, let's get to the clips. Class is in session.
I've got it on my off-season list to buy us a bell so we can ding the bell when class is in session.
Ding. I love it.
All right. See how we've mastered that now. Moving that out of the way.
Look at that
Big
action.
time technological advancements happening
what
here.
Chris did is he took it from here and he moved it down here.
Yeah, let's break that down. Wow. Look at that. Look at the space it opens up. It's like a good offensive set. All right. Let's jump right in here. The play to win the game was one of the messages I got was let's take a look at that one. Before we get to the Kansas State game winner, wanted to show you the same play being run a little differently earlier in the year, this one at home against Iowa State. We did actually break this set down on last week's episode, but now it has come to life a little more since we had a game winner off of this set. All right, so this set starts in kind of what we talked about as being a horns look. You got 2 guys high, your forwards, and 2 low in the corners for spacing. All right, what you're going to see is John Newman is kind of doing a little fugazi here. Kind of looks like he's about to set a ball screen. He's just going to get out and set up the second action. But the first action is literally John clears out and Jizzle has the whole left side to drive the ball left in an isolation situation. All right, so you'll see that action first. John gets out, and now we've got this isolation down the lane for Jizzle. Might have something there. Again, he's cut off. That's why we need elite shooting in these corners so that we can't help that much. Defensively, want him to have to stay home so Jizzle can go take that thing down the lane. But because it's not there, the second action develops. The idea is that Seamoss's help defender is watching the ball, watching the action, and this second action, being a down screen for Seamoss, would allow him to get a step, and ultimately get an open shot towards the top of the key. This is the same play that they ran to win the game. And you'll see it works. Look at that separation. We have what we want, and that's a great look for a great shooter. Don't knock it down this time, but Coach Miller definitely remembered how well that one worked. We'll fast forward through the offensive rebounding series there, and we run it back. All right, 71-72, 20 seconds to go. Same
With a great
alignment.
variation.
Yes, a nice little wrinkle, nice little variation. You'll see in the last clip, John Newman was here. CMOS was here. All right. They have John staying in this corner, but coach decided to put a little wrinkle in it. It's the same action. CMOS runs through. We clear out this left side for Jizzle's drive, and then we'll talk about what happens on the backside here in a second. All right. CMOS gets out. Jizzle's going to drive that thing left. It's not there. You'll see the double screen on the weak side for Day. His man is actually doing a good job staying attached. What you'll see here is instead of coming off of the screen for a shot, which is what CMOS did in the last clip, he's going to curl CMOS, hopefully get a piece of his man, and then CMOS is going to come off the single screen from Aziz. Let's take a look at it. All right. Day-Day's going to curl. And now it's
Wide
a single
open.
pin down. Aziz has got to go get his CMOS's man. And that's great separation created by the screen. Knock it down. Still contested, not quite as wide open as the last time, but nonetheless a great look. Let's watch it start to finish one more time. Again, CMOS.
Do you think he should have thrown it? Do you think he should have thrown it to Day?
On the catch? Or
I mean, Day is wide. Look, the guy goes over the top.
Yeah.
Look how wide open Day is at the rim there.
Yeah, you're right. You see his man. His man gets a little lost. Does a great job staying attached here.
He took a left turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah, gets clipped by CMOS's screen. He is open. I know the play is really designed Jizzle's drive and CMOS's three, but man, we probably had one there, didn't we?
I mean, look how open he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's wide. He's wide. We want the three ball, though, baby. We want the three ball. Great look. And again, you'll see last possession of the game. No need to get floor balance. All four guys are on the board, ready to offensive rebound that thing. Great execution. Nice to see them pull that one out at home. It put a few extra grays in my head. All right, I thought this was funny because it's actually the same exact score, same exact situation as the Kansas State game. So the play to win the Oklahoma game that resulted in an Aziz offensive rebound, foul, sent him to the free throw line to send it to overtime. But the play that was drawn up to win the game was the same play that they ran to win the Texas Tech game. All right, so let's go ahead and break it down. All right, we're in kind of this stack look. Kind of looks a little bit like a Spain alignment, right? Where you got your big and your shooter in that stack. You've got your corners filled. The idea is that CMOS, he just needs to get open. He can use Aziz's screen to get a catch up here. And we're going to be back to that pass, fake handoff, ball screen action. And I'll walk you through it. All right, CMOS's job is to get a catch. He does just that, although it's pretty contested there by Pops Isaacs. All right. After the pass, Day is going to come off this fake handoff, and Aziz is going to follow with a ball screen. These two are going to hold tight in the corner for spacing purposes. Fake handoff, ball screen, and now we're playing downhill. You'll see on this screen, it'll be a little different in the Oklahoma game. But Aziz is actually looking to connect on this one a little bit. All right, so he does make a little contact and then rolls out. Again, he's a lob threat, so 22's got to backpedal. John Newman's man's got to help out of the corner a little bit. Don't want to give up the lob there to Aziz. Because of that, CMOS is able to get downhill and knock down the jumper to win the game at Texas Tech. Let's go ahead and run it back from the start so you can see it all develop. CMOS get open, fake handoff, ball screen, roll, downhill for the pull-up jumper. Great execution. And the play here is almost identical. Going to fast forward a little bit. Almost identical. Instead of starting in the stack, CMOS just kind of creates a lead to get a catch. And then it's the same action. Day-Day is going to come off the fake handoff. Aziz is going to come set the ball screen. And now we talked about the different options in the ball screen last time based on the coverage. Aziz can come headhunt this guy and really make contact, or he can get out early in a hard hedge situation, ideally, and try to create some confusion. Maybe two guys go with the roll. Maybe two guys stay with the ball. That's what he does here. He slips the ball screen. Okay, Oklahoma recognizes it and stays with him. Now it becomes more of an isolation. Hopefully the idea on the slip is that this guy has heard ball screen coming. So he's kind of waiting for a ball screen, and CMOS is able to drive it as he's anticipating help. So let's run it back from the start. Watch it all the way through this time. CMOS get a catch, fake handoff, ball screen, slip it. There's the roll. And now we're in this ISO drive, downhill, shot almost taken from the exact same spot as the Texas Tech game. Don't love the spacing here on the weak side. Would love for him to maybe get a little more corner so CMOS has a little more space. Anyway, still a great look. And again, no need at the end of the game to get back to half court. Everybody's on the glass. Aziz wins the rebounding battle, goes to the free throw line. We're really hoping for 2 for 2. But 1 out of 2 to send it to OT. Would have loved to see CMOS knock that down again, have back-to-back game winners out of the same set. One last time for you.
Clean look. 15-foot
Again.
Elbow jumper open.
Yep. Great execution. Again, not the result we were looking for. Obviously, Aziz keeping the play alive, getting himself to the free throw line was nice, but just 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. All right. Let's transition to defense, if you're all right with that.
Let's go. You love defense? I love defense.
I do, and this drove me nuts. But out of bounds under, up to 20 seconds to go. We just got to get a stop, man. And I will tell you, a large portion of the pregame walkthrough and the scouting report and the shoot around and the film sessions between the staff members before we even detail all of that out is spent on these exact situations, the out of bounds under alignments, the plays, who they run them for, when they run them. Those are all things when you walk into a scouting meeting as an assistant coach with Coach Miller, he's going to ask you, all right, end of the game, they're down 2. They have the ball right here, baseline out of bounds. Show me the 2 or 3 things that they're going to run. And you got to know those things off the top of your head. Boom, I've watched enough film to know it's going to be this set, this play, or this play. They love to run it for number 0 or number 5. Got to know those things. And then from there, build out a practice plan. Which ones are we going to show the team? Which ones are we going to cover live? Which ones are we going to put just on the film? Which ones are we going to walk through? There's a whole gamut to it. And a lot of that time is actually spent on these special situations, these out of bounds under opportunities. So I'm going to say they covered this one, whether it be in one of those film sessions or the walkthrough or in the hotel ballroom. They definitely covered this at some point, and you'll see where the blown coverage is as we go through it. The way that Cincinnati guards these baseline out of bounds situations, teams will use this guy a lot differently, team by team, program by program. So CMOS is not in front of the ball, jumping up and down, trying to get a deflection like some teams will. His job is to protect anything backside. So there should never be a time where the inbounder throws the ball here for a layup. That just can't happen against our defense because that is his only job. The only other thing he's thinking about is if they passed it here quickly, and if this guy tried to run out for a three, he's got to get attached. That's his secondary job, but his primary job is to take this away. That's an important detail because you're going to see why in a second. All right. This is a screen the screener set. You'll see these two guys are going to set a screen for 5 to go to the backside. And then one of these two guys will then come off of the screen here for a shot in the corner. It'll be number 0 in this case, but teams will run it differently. Let's take a look. All right. You'll see the double screen trying to clip John Newman to get him to the backside. All right. Again, Seamoss's primary job is to take away this backside, which is exactly what he does. He takes that away. Problem is, Aziz here, for some reason, thought he needed to take that away. Just had a brain fart, forgot that that's Aziz or Seamoss's primary responsibility, or maybe he felt like John was just absolutely crushed on that first screen. For whatever reason, he leaves his primary responsibility, which is navigating any screen with their big guy here, and jumps to the weak side to take this away. So now what we've got is number 0, who just set a back screen, is going to come full speed off of this screen to the corner, and nobody's there to help Day navigate it, talk him through it, help him. And so Day's kind of on an island. Now, Day's not totally without fault here. His job, especially in this scenario when you're guarding a shooter, he has to what we call stay on him, stay attached to him, stay connected to him. Different programs will use different terms. But
without fouling him.
Without fouling him, of course. But his job, no matter what happens, no matter if he's setting a screen, no matter if he's cutting somewhere, his job, obviously you want to call out, hey, John, there's a back screen coming. But his job is not to help on that back screen. His job is to stay connected to the shooter, because so many of these plays are run for shooters to come off of screens. He cannot allow any separation to that corner. So again, let's watch. We've watched Seamoss. He does his job covering the backside. We've watched Aziz. He blew the coverage and helped too much here. Now let's watch Day. He's attached, and then just that little half of a step can cost you. All right, he's going full speed, and there's that half a step reaction that's late. He feels like he can't go over the top of the screen, which is the preferred route. Right-handed shooters especially don't like when defense is on their shoulder. So you'd like to go over top of this one. So he has to lean out of bounds essentially to shoot it. So he takes what we would call the shorter path, and it's now a closeout situation. Whereas we wanted him to be connected to his body. This is too comfortable of a shot. And that did us. So let's watch it again in its entirety. Backside action we cover with Seamoss. Aziz helps too much. Day's late getting through the screen. And it's a 3-ball. And that hurt. All right. Couple times earlier in the season that we guarded a very similar play, baseline out of bounds. All right, I want you to watch LJ Cryer here for Houston. John Newman, obviously the one guarding him. You'll see Day's in that position again where he's not going to allow anything backside. But you'll see Cryer here sets the screen on Vic to try and get this Roberts backside layup, which Day will take away. But I want you to watch John as the screen happens and then as he receives that screen from Francis to get to the corner. Watch John Newman here. All right. His man sets the screen. and he never loses contact with him the whole time. So when the ball goes inbound, they can't even throw it inbounds to him. That's how good it is. Watch it back one more time. Watch John Newman the whole way. That's what we wanted to see on that last possession from Day there. Stay connected, stay attached to his body. Wouldn't have even been an option to throw it into him. And you'll see he went over top of the screen, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you saw Day's path was underneath, which is fine. Sometimes coach will give him the flexibility, take the best path. But best path ideally in this situation is over top of the screen.
And
All
a
right,
lot of
we'll look
times
at-
just because they won't throw it. If you go over
absolutely.
top. If you're connected, they're not going to throw the pass like we just saw.
No doubt. No doubt. If you're connected, a lot of times it's not even there. All right, we didn't do a perfect job of guarding it in this one, but again, I want you to watch John Newman. And perfect world, maybe the matchups were a little different on that other play, and John ends up on the shooter. Maybe it's a different story, but John's on year 6. He knows how to guard baseline out of bounds, right? So you'll watch 24. He's going to set a back screen. We have that covered with Dan. Almost the same exact play. So you see the back screen. Dan's actually not in perfect position, but again, he's got those, what do you call them, Gumby? He's got those Gumby arms. He's going to take
Is he
this
doing
away.
calisthenics? What is he doing? Is he getting a good stretch in?
Yeah. So you'll see this is what they're looking at first, right? You see the
Yeah.
inbounder's eyes. They want that backside. But again, watch John Newman. He's not worried about Day being crushed on that screen because he knows that Dan is covering the backside. Okay, and yeah, he's doing the wave there to make sure it doesn't get back there. He's not in perfect position, but you get the idea. And now watch John as he stays connected, and you'll see actually CMOS is the one who screens him here. Not ideal. Would love for CMOS to not be in the way there so that John can stay on his outside hip. But we accidentally make this a double screen for John to get through instead of a single screen. Sure, they talked about that one in film. So you'll see this is too much separation. But again, John choosing this path instead of going underneath allows him to get there in time that there's not a shot. So it wasn't guarded perfectly here, but John was able to fight through and stay connected long enough, pick the right path to take away the shot. So again, I think the baseline out of bounds execution was not ideal, and unfortunately that late game out of bounds under, and that cost us. So I'm sure that is one that they are going to be spending some time watching in the film room.
Yep. We're not going to look at West Virginia. Just beat West Virginia. Go
Just
win the
beat
game.
West Virginia. Yep. We don't need to ring the bell for that one.
You play to win the game.
There you go. Come on, baby.
Go win on senior night. I'm not going to be there. I hate it.
I will be there. Gotta catch Odie and John Newman.
I know. I'm super sad. You want my seat?
Those are yeah. I'll pop up there.
I won't be there. I mean, you can have it. It'll be open.
Have known both of those guys since they were about 14, 15 years old. Two North Carolina guys. We recruited them both out of high school and did not coach them until they were upperclassmen in college. But those relationships built with them as high schoolers all the way through, now they're grown men. That was really my why in getting into coaching was to build relationships with young men and get them to college, develop them, grow those relationships, see them graduate one day, maybe be in their weddings, attend their weddings one day. And obviously the portal's changed a lot of that.
Sure.
But very cool how the portal actually worked to reconnect us at Cincinnati with Coach Miller, and pretty great kids there, Odie and John Newman. I guess they're not kids anymore; they're grown men now.
You will not find two better guys.
You will not find two better guys. Love those guys. Got to be there for them on Saturday. Really looking forward to it.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up.
Bearcats.
They very much are Bearcats, and
No doubt about it.
would like to thank everybody for tuning in. I don't know what next week holds with the Big 12 tournament. I don't know if we will squeeze one in or not. Times and it's dependent on a lot of things. If we can, I'm sure we'll try. But if not, we'll be back in a couple weeks. This is not goodbye. This is see you soon.
There you go. See you soon.
We'll see you next time. That is the Brendel's Breakdown. I think we need to name it the Bearcat Breakdown. I don't break down anything. That is the Brendel's Breakdown featuring Chris LePore, brought to you by the Job Center right here on BearcatJournal.com.